Hey there, welcome to Tour de Lafayette. I'm your host, Stephen Smith. Today we'll be taking a look at the historic 9th Street Hill neighborhood, perhaps best known for its holiday luminaria display and the Festoon Force celebration. Let's take a look at the Moses Fowler House, home to the Tippecanoe County Historical Association, and one of the most recognizable structures in the neighborhood.
We're here with Kathy Atwell, Executive Director of the Tippecanoe County Historical Association. And Kathy, can you tell us a little bit about the home that we're in right now? It's better known as the Fowler House, and what's the history of this home?
It was built by Moses Fowler in the mid-1800s, 1851 to 1852. And he built it for his family. He was a merchant in town and became very wealthy. He was a friend of John Purdue's. The house is a Gothic revival. It's one of the finest examples of Gothic revival in Indiana. The Historical Association purchased it in 1940. In 1916, Moses Fowler's grandson purchased the house and lived in it until 1940. And in 1916, he did the addition. So the original house is just what we're standing in, and then there was, for his growing family in 1916, he enlarged the house. Moses Fowler brought in artisans from Italy, and they came up the Wabash and Erie Canal. And as you look around, and we look around and show people the house today, you'll see the craftsmanship that went into this house. Well, this is the entrance to the house, and the first impressions were very important. And so Moses Fowler built the house, so when you come in, you feel like you're coming into a castle. We'll come into our grand formal parlor. You can see that the motif that's carried through the patterns on the doors, around the top of the room, and then into that top of the room. These two rooms are the most beautiful rooms.
Kathy, well, thanks a lot for the tour of this historic home. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming. We enjoyed having you and hope that the viewers get a chance to come in and visit for themselves our beautiful home here.
We're in front of the Art Museum of Greater Lafayette. Let's go inside and see if we can't find Kendall Smith, the museum's director.
We've heard about the different exciting things here at the Art Museum, and I was wondering, would you be willing to show us around?
Sure, love to. Come on, Steve, let's go.
Great.
And we have portraits by Marie Goff, like this little girl on my right here. There's a gentleman who's very important to Indiana history, a writer and a poet, and James Whitcomb Riley was his name. James Whitcomb Riley's portrait is painted by Theodore Clemens Steele, and Theodore Steele is considered Indiana's most important early impressionist. This is also Indiana art, but this is today's art by a living artist named Marie Thomasula.
We're with Jane Boswell, resident of the 9th Street Hill neighborhood. Why don't you introduce us to this fellow behind us?
Oh, well, this is Historia. So we did a call out to the community and we said, send us your pictures. We have pictures here of the residents of 9th Street Hill from the very beginning.
And what type of role does the association play in the community?
We would like to think a very important role. In our local community of 9th Street Hill, we are constantly sort of celebrating being neighbors. And in our community, I think most folks would tell you that the 9th Street Hill neighborhood is very active and community spirited. We're very involved in anything that affects any neighborhood, old or new.
The mansion here at 920 State Street is one of Lafayette's most impressive homes. This neoclassical revival home was originally built as a state of Connecticut's exhibit at the 1904 World Fair in St. Louis. It found its way to Lafayette when resident William S. Potter, a successful lawyer, had the building dismantled, numbered, packed, and shipped from St. Louis to Lafayette.
What are some of your favorite features of the house? Is there one thing that you can pinpoint that each of you really enjoy the most?
Well, I think architecturally, the center hall with the double staircase and all the French doors, I think that's a really magnificent feature.
And the open well in the center hallway opens the house up to the first two floors are like one floor. This painting is a painting by Martin Greeley, who is a Texan. He's currently about 55 years old, so he's currently painting. He's considered the best currently active full-time artist. There are a couple artists that are very well known that have retired, but he's the one. He's still painting full-time. This is Home Sweet Home. It has drums and bells and castanets, and then in the background you can hear an organ and a flute that's playing off of these two sections, and overriding all of that is of course the traditional music box.
Well, Bob and Ellie, thanks a lot for taking us on a tour of this amazing home. It's incredible. We really appreciate your time.
We enjoyed the visit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
This craftsman bungalow at 822 Kossuth, better known as the Honeymoon Cottage, was built in 1916 by Henry Marshall, founder of the Journal and Courier. The home was a wedding gift for his son, hence the name, the Honeymoon Cottage. We're here with Dave and Sandy Lahr, and they're owners of one of the historic homes here on the 9th Street Hill. And I was wondering if you guys could tell us just a little bit about when you first came to own this home and what attracted you to it in the first place.
What attracted me was the dining room that you'll get to see later because it had some build-ins. We're sort of a community within a community because we're neighbors first, and that's what's so important. And so we always think of ourselves as a little neighborhood or community within the community, and we're always there for each other, and it makes for a very safe, cozy feeling.
If you can look up, this is Carrera glass. When we moved here, the gray Carrera glass came down to approximately here. Then there was black glass all the rest of the way down. The tiling, as I was talking about the tiling in the kitchen, the gray tile and the black tile. This is Carrera tile. It's from Carrera, Italy. It did not come over until after World War I. Very, very thick. If people remember the old Osco store downtown on 3rd Street, they had this type on the outside.
Well, Dave and Sandy, thank you so much for showing us your home. You have a great home, and we were really pleased to be able to see it today.
Well, thank you.
Well, that'll wrap up our tour of 9th Street Hill. For Tour de Lafayette, I'm Stephen Smith. Remember, preserving the past is preserving the future.